I didn't want to live this life anymore. I didn't understand gambling addiction. I just thought it was an old white man's thing, that they go into the bookies and they have a drink and they bet. When I got into rehab, there wasn't anybody that looked like me or sounded like me.
On a dark December morning 2 years ago, Kiki Marriott left her flat in southeast London as the city slept and started walking.
I wasn't hysterical, I was crying, but I was numb at that point. I was just so done with trying to survive. I sat at the train station thinking about my daughter, thinking about the mistakes that I've made in the past, thinking that I didn't want to live this life anymore.
Kiki was trapped in a cycle of addiction, gambling all hours, taking cocaine for the maximum buzz, blocking out the sexual abuse of her childhood and further trauma that followed. But that morning, instead of taking her own life, she decided to seek help. Yet what she would find on that journey of recovery would shock her.
Well, I can't be the only black woman suffering with a gambling or cocaine addiction. What's happening to those women? Who's helping those women?
But Kiki's not the first person to wonder what's happening.
Lots of research has been done showing that people from ethnic minority backgrounds are less likely to gamble than their white counterparts, but more likely to suffer harm from that gambling. And the reports have also shown that they're less likely to seek help for the problem. And each of the reports says that more should be done to raise awareness, that support is out there for everyone. But it seems the message isn't getting through, or something is stopping them.
Research shared exclusively with Sky News, commissioned by Gam Care, which runs the National Gambling Helpline, sheds some light on why that might be. It found that 2/3 of people from ethnic minority backgrounds who'd gambled in the past year had spent more money than they'd planned, compared to just over 1/3 of white people, and 19% were likely to hide their gambling, more than twice the number of white respondents, while 20% said they felt guilty about the way they gambled, always or most of the time, compared to 7% of those who were white. Kiki understands that guilt. In her teens, it was all a bit of fun. Then came the drugs.
When I had a line of cocaine and I gambled, it did something different. I really enjoyed it, I chased it, and it's all I could think about. It consumed every part of me. A traumatic event happened in my family that really changed the dynamics of my life, and that's when I kind of moved on from scratch cards to slots, online slots, and that's where I was hooked.
Kiki tried to hide it. In her mind, gambling addicts weren't people like her.
I just thought it was an old white man's thing, that they go into the bookies. Men who had remortgaged their homes, sold their cars, took out thousands of pounds worth of loans. And I thought, well, that's not me.
In fact, she was doing 10 and 20p spins on benefits, borrowing money from those around her.
For me, coming from a black community, a black background, what goes on indoors stays behind closed doors. You keep your mouth shut and you handle your business yourself.
And so how much of a part did that play in how hard it was for you to get to that point of seeking help?
I think that kind of stopped me from getting help for years.
But Dermy Kapadia, an academic expert in racial inequality, thinks there's more than just cultural pressure at play.
In our research, we found that what's more important is that people don't want to go and get help from gambling services because of previous racist treatment that they've suffered at the hands of other statutory services. For example, when they went to the GP to get help for a health problem.
For Kiki, that stigma felt very real, though. She tried to hold things together, particularly for her daughter, Princess, but admits she became very selfish.
What did it do to your relationship with your daughter?
She moved out when she was 15, but before that, you know, gas, electric, food shopping, all those things had to be in place. That's when everything escalated in the sense of I didn't have that responsibility of making sure, of keeping up appearances. Yeah, it was very lonely, it was very dark.
After leaving the station that winter's morning, Kiki found the number of the gambling helpline and called.
For the first time in my life, I was completely honest about everything that I was doing, the lies, the manipulation when I was in active addiction, the secrecy, the money that I was spending. I was completely transparent because I wanted to change. I needed to change.
Since then, there's been constant therapy, including a stint in rehab in Wales. And as she headed home in the taxi after the 6-week stay, her phone rang.
Hello, darling, you're right. I'm good, thank you, babe. How you been?
It was Lisa Walker, a woman who understood gambling addiction, winning £127,000 playing poker at 29, before losing everything, ending up homeless with her young children.
Hello, how you doing?
Oh.
When Lisa finally asked for help, she too felt she was different. Walking into a Gamblers Anonymous meeting to find she was one of only 2 women in a room with 35 men. It was the catalyst to set up support for female gamblers.
When we first met 3 years ago, you were aware that there wasn't enough support for women, and that was when you made this decision, wasn't it?
I was thinking, where's all the women? I can't be the only woman in the world with a gambling addiction. So that got me thinking, what services are out there for women? What do women need and what do they want? So New Beginnings launched in 2022 in April. It's a group of women. It's a 10-week structured programme.
Since then, close to 250 women have been helped, but all but 4 have been white. And one of those 4 was Kiki.
I mean, in reality, how likely do you think it is that that's a fair reflection of the percentage of non-white people who are gambling?
Oh, I don't think it's a fair perception at all. I think there is a lot more people out there from the ethnic minority groups that are gambling. Why aren't they reaching out for support? Is it the shame? Is it the stigma?
But another theory is that it's too easy to hide.
I could probably sit here now and sign up to 50 online casinos and probably get over 1,000 free spins. I just think there's no getting away from it because it's 24 hours a day.
Hello, good afternoon. You're through to the National Gambling Helpline. You're speaking with Marika today. How can I help you?
It all chimes with Marika Campbell's experience of answering calls at the helpline.
It's a really good step in the right direction for your recovery. Traditionally, people have been gambling in betting shops or online high street arcades, and there has been a shift where people are now being able to access this online. If they're not sharing this with friends or with family, it can go on for quite a sustained period of time without anybody noticing. And that's where we encourage people to contact the helpline, the National Gambling Helpline, and talk to us about what they're experiencing so that they don't feel isolated and that they understand that they're not alone.
But Marika understands the pressure Kiki felt to keep her problems private.
So whether that's addictions, abuse, etc., you just don't talk about it. It stays in the house. I was raised exactly the same way. You know, I approach things differently because I see the benefits of talking.
So how long have you lived in this flat?
Coming up 6 years now.
Now the flat where once Kiki couldn't even go to the bathroom without gambling has become the place that she runs her own online peer mentoring groups.
Hey everyone, how's your week been?
She knows she'll need to attend support groups herself for life to keep her addictions at bay.
I can understand why you'd have the feelings that you feel.
But she has a clear goal, just as Lisa did.
My focus is to help other people, help empower other people to choose themselves, to show them that you don't have to be a victim of your circumstances, that you can choose to grow from it and learn from it and heal from it.
And that includes her role as a mum.
It was either I was going to die or I was going to become a woman and a mother that my daughter could come back to and respect again.
Which has happened now, hasn't
Yes,
it?
it has, yeah. We've got an amazing relationship today, you know. I've took full accountability for the mistakes that I've made. She knows I did the best I could with what I had at the time. She's extremely proud of where I am today and the work that I've done on myself.
It's more than Kiki could have dreamt of 2 years ago. Now all she wants is to help others escape the endless cycle of addiction.